You should be buying every single Winter Lights red present that you possibly can. And let me tell you why. If you didn't already know, winter is back in Kilima, and that also brings us the Winter Lights store, which is right out here in the front of Zeki's shop. There are a whole bunch of pretty presents. Obviously, the beautiful snow is back, as well as charcuterie. You can get the snowballs. If you didn't get the recipes from last year, you can pick those up, as well as some new ones. The snowy tiled roof, I am absolutely obsessed with it. And then there are also some a new Winter Lights snowy tree and some additional ornaments that I haven't played around with yet. But so why, with all these good items, am I so excited about the red present? Well, if you're a new player, you might not know why. So let me show you. For whatever reason, the red present allows you to put items on top of it that normally would not be able to be placed on top of items. So for example, items that can typically only be placed on ground, such as this beautiful parasol looking thing here that we typically would not be able to place inside. Now that it's sitting on top of the red present, you can actually bring it inside and put it on top of any surface that you normally wouldn't be able to. And obviously this is a lot easier to hide than a big block or anything like that, especially if you just wanted to do something like that. Now you have this beautiful parasol moment happening in your house. It looks so beautiful. It's really cute, and it's all with the red present. The red present also allows you to do cool things like this, such as floating items that normally you wouldn't be able to float in an out of bounds area. So what I did was a basic floating trick, which I'm sure a lot of you have done in the past, and I have another video showing really easily how to do that. But typically it's really hard to find anything that this fish can sit on. So being able to float it or sink it into the ground would be tricky. However, you can use a red present. Now, there are other ways to do it now that people have come up with, but this is by far much easier. As you can see with this dragon right here, I can pick it up and attach it to this present, normally an item that would not be able to put on something like that, making floating easier. I have a more detailed tutorial of this on another video, but for now I will just show you really quick. So again, this is really great for floating those bigger items that you have a harder time finding items they can attach to. I go ahead and grab my present here. This is a trick that can only be done on PC. I am very sorry to our Switch players. I'm going to hit 3 because I know that's where my dragon is, and then instead of clicking to place it, I'm going to use my secondary click. My secondary confirm, which for me is T, but it can be whatever you set it up for. Now, when I grab my present and I place it, my dragon is going to fly. And now I have a flying dragon, exactly how far that other point was, that I can also even place out of bounds as long as the present is in bounds. So now I can have a flying dragon out towards the front when you first enter my plot, if I like. So see, the red present just allows you to have lots of different possibilities, and I have an entire plot I plan to do with flying dragons. I'm a little obsessed with them. They're amazing. So I very much need this red present. While you don't need red presents to float any of the smaller items, the ones that can only be placed on the ground, sometimes you will need help with, and it is very helpful for doing items that are bigger, like the fish or the dragon or the choppa, or just for outdoor items in general. If you wanted to be able to place them inside like I showed you, or if you wanted to be able to float them for some reason, or float them out of bounds, or sink them into the ground out of bounds, the red present makes it immensely easier. Now, one other thing with the red present that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about is the fact that it doesn't just allow you to do the stuff in the sky like that. I'm sorry, I'm having like all these little noises. My chat is freaking out right now in game. But you can actually place wall items on it as well. Now, it's a little bit trickier to do, but it is possible. You just have to find the right spot, which means you can take items that would normally go on the wall and place them kind of loosely out and about. Now, I've seen some people do it with this particular item here to create like really beautiful pathing and barriers on their plots. And it's just beautiful, especially if you glitch in some flowers and really like layer it beautifully so that you can hide if you hide the present a little bit better within the flowers like that. I mean, How beautiful is that? It's absolutely stunning. And I want to give a shout out to Tiny Dragon on YouTube. I believe they were the first person that I saw ever talk about this. It was like months ago when we, like last year when we were talking about the red present. So shout out to them for mentioning that. But I've seen a lot of people put this into use. Even with the pop of red there, even if you couldn't perfectly hide the present, honestly, this would be a gorgeous path to walk up. I mean, it would just be absolutely stunning. And now that we can buy so many of them, you could truly make like a beautiful, incredible path with it. So, and this is not where it ends, of course. There's even more wall items that you can put on this, or you can stack tables. There's all different kinds of stuff that you can do. Truly, it is up to your own imagination. Another thing, oh, let me just mention really quickly one more thing. The red present can also be used to stack some of the new landscaping items in order to give some different height and different dimensions. I mean, just look at that. And then imagine, you know, picking up a rock and just kind of putting that in the front to maybe kind of hide the present. And now you have a log with a little bit of a different height and a little bit of a different feel. And I think it also is going to work with the rocks as well. Yep. I think where this would be the coolest would be if you put these out into a into like a lake or a pond, and either floated them with the presents, and then you create yourself a little jumping stone path across the water. I mean, how freaking cool would that be? I think that the red present is probably even cooler than it was last year and has even more possibilities than we ever imagined. So I would love to see what you all plan to do with it now that we can get as many as we want. And I really do recommend to pick up as many as you possibly can, because even a year later, there are while we have a lot of more possibilities in the games than we did with the building blocks and everything that we have now, there is still nothing quite like the red present in the game. So save up your gold and fill your inventory with it, because you know you're going to be disappointed as soon as the Winter Lights shop goes away. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.